Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, got a cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milk-shaped wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass, as Nick looks through the viewfinder. But I'm Brad Chmielewski.
What's up, Brad? I'm Nik White.
And we're getting our punk rock on today.
Yeah, man. Fucking Snaggle Jus. This is a West Coast collab.
This is the most punk hazy you can have in Chicago.
6.66 ABV, man. This is Solemn and Alarmist.
Right. This is damn good. This is the best beer I've had all year.
Yeah, so I want to say, Snaggle Tooth Bandana, is that and Solemn one? And then we all know the juice.
Right. I even got the glassware going.
This is brewed at Alarmist.
Right. So we don't know if there's a collaboration, but going the other way now, that's like a juice bandana or something, or bandana or something.
Because they're collab with Old Irving. They did them at each location.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if those are the same year or not.
Yeah. So there could be on the lookout, but this is over at Alarmist right now. I stopped in there right before New Year's and picked these up, and another 4-pack of an IPA they have, which was tasty, but this is better.
This is delicious.
Yeah. I think I often go into Alarmist just to get beer these days, maybe 1 pint, but I'm usually like grabbing whatever's new. There's usually something new every couple weeks, and just, heading out, taking 4-packs to friends or drinking them here on the show, and it's always nice to see what they're rolling with.
Yeah, I think last time I was at Still Life, I think I saw these cans in there to go as well.
Oh, they got it. Oh, so they're selling them out of there too. I wonder if they had to. Well, yeah, they must be buying them from the distributor and then whatever. Who knows how it all works? I'm not gonna pretend like I know. But great beer if you can see it at Still Life or Solemn or Alarmist. Definitely pick up some cans because these don't last very long and you want to drink them fresh. Yeah. So we're here kicking off 2024 with more Chicago Beer Pass, and we did go to a few places this past week.
That's right.
Let's see. We started at the Publican.
Yeah.
This is a spot, a classic. I would say classic at this point. Chicago Beer Hall.
Yeah, I think it's probably been there since Haymarket, the brewery, right? Or even maybe before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think their focus is like seafood, pork, and like Belgians, right? Yeah. So I think I got Norval, and I got what did I get? Oh, I got a triple from the guy Westmall, the home of the original triple.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think I ended up doing a couple of lagers, one from Dovetail, and then one from down in Missouri, the people that do the
Urban Chestnut. Yeah.
I think I did their sandwich or whatever it's called. It's something like sandwich, but it's not sandwich. And a cocktail.
Torta. No.
Yeah, and we ate a whole bunch of food. I think it was all it was good. It was nice to go back there after so many years. I feel like it hasn't really changed.
It's a classic for a reason.
Right.
You ain't really got to change it.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was good. And then now, which I walked over to right afterwards, over there is Guinness.
Right around the corner, just on the other side of the tracks there.
Right.
Fulton
on
Market.
the side of the tracks.
Yeah.
Is that the good side or the bad side?
Well, there's no parking on either side. I'll tell you that. Shit.
Oh yeah, you drove and you parked.
Yeah. Lucked out. It was supposed to be like close to $40. We were there for a while. It was only $10.
Oh, nice.
I think it was like holiday pricing or something.
I'll
take it.
That's good, especially after our meal.
Yeah.
But got into Guinness, no wait. We were there just before closing time, so enough time to have one, maybe two drinks for people. It is way smaller than I thought. I'd pictured like a school cafeteria largeness. I don't know. I pictured it being very big.
So it's a gift shop, a bakery, a cafe, and a brewery.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because all that other stuff you see as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bakery is just like something that would be like at Whole Foods. Like, here's our stand with coffee and baked goods.
I couldn't tell the difference between the bakery and the coffee shop.
Right. Or the gift shop that's all around it.
But the gift shop didn't have seats.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all like next to each other. Yeah.
And then in the middle of the area is the giant bar that has the harp shape. It's a harp shape, not a heart, harp
Yeah,
shaped
like
bar.
above the bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so grabbed a seat. I got a Guinness. Is that what you're supposed to do at Guinness? Like get a Guinness?
So Guinness has production facilities all across the country. You know, all across the world. I meant to say in different countries. I think this is the only one in America, but
No, the Massachusetts one.
I thought they closed it.
I thought
Right?
someone said they did, but they didn't.
So they didn't close it?
I don't
So
know.
it's either the only one or one of two in the U.S.
Right.
But the two in the U.S., unlike these other locations, the two in the U.S. don't make the stout.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking to our buddy Jimmy Callahan.
Yeah.
Right? Callahan? Yeah.
Pretty great name for a guy who's like your local Guinness guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, it's just like a rule that America gets Guinness from Ireland.
I think this all was born out of the idea that the blonde and nitro was born in America.
Okay.
So they're like, well, let's go to America, but then let's make new things in America. And if they want the stout, you get the stout on nitro, the one we know, the original pint,
Yeah.
or the foreign extra stout, which is actually 7.5%. Both of those would come from Ireland.
Right.
Yeah.
But we can go a lot of bars and get a Guinness with nitro,
Yeah.
right?
Especially if it's all coming from Ireland, right?
I had the Guinness there. I'm going to say it's no better there than going to like O'Shaughnessy's and getting a Guinness.
Which is good, right? Like this
Which
is why
we-
they.
Yeah,
That's what you want.
Yeah, you should be able to go to all these bars and get a great Guinness pour,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but I felt like I was at Guinness for the first time. I had to get Guinness.
I tell you, I went one time and that's what I did. I got I got a bottle and they gave me a fancy cup, and off we go. I got the Guinness that wasn't made at this brewery.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Maeve got a beer that they brewed there.
But I did try. It was like a spicy fruit punch beer or some
Right.
shit. Tried that, a small pour of that.
But if anyone threw out, let's go to Guinness, you don't instantly think, yeah, let's go to Guinness and see what new beers they're brewing. I think that's going to like constantly be their problem in Chicago, is like getting people to like be like, let's go to Guinness and try what's new. Because here, let's go to Guinness. You're like, no, I don't feel like a Guinness.
I think Guinness only works. I doubt if there's going to be any guest drafts. I think Guinness only works if it's like a tourist attraction.
Sure.
Like, you get a Guinness-shaped bus and you drive people from like Millennium Park and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right? Or you make deals with hotels like, hey, we'll come grab you and let's go to Guinness kind of thing. Yeah. Because everyone wants to go at least once. And it's in a good location where people going once could be all you need.
Right.
You know?
Now they've been. It's cool. It seems like the food options are pretty nice. We ended up getting some ice cream just to try it. Tasty. They had some other food things that sounded good. So they do have a full kitchen. So I don't know. It's an option, but you have a lot of great places in the West Loop. And if you want beer, you got Haymarket, you got Cruz Blanca.
Yeah, those are the two breweries. Who else? Yeah, I think those are only two breweries in Cruz and Phil Market now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely recommend checking out once for sure.
It's a cool spot.
And then maybe you get hooked on it. I'm excited to see what they do over the years. Like with other beers that they do. But those are, my stops: Publican, Alarmist, Guinness. And then I was going to head out to the West Burbs with Nick, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I ended up going to Phase 3's Boozy Brunch. So they have a membership club where they offer members first crack at these barrel-aged releases.
Okay.
And then if someone didn't pick it up, then they'll sell them in like an annual seller rate.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah, you went last year to this and talked about this.
Yeah, last year was up in Lake Zurich. This year it was in Elmhurst, way closer, like 13 miles closer.
Did you pre-buy things, or were you there just to pick up the scraps?
No, the seller raid was actually outside. So some people got there at 10 in the morning, if you can believe that. 6:40 in the morning, I think, was the first guy for a place that opens at 11. So that was kind of weird. What was there? I think there's Unoya is their barrel aged series, and they number them. So I think the one I wanted was 2, 5, and 9.
Okay.
2 was gone quick. That was coconut and Saigon cinnamon. So that one was gone. So then I'm getting 5, which was these are all barrel aged. 5 was Ugandan vanilla beans, and 9 was a wild Thai banana and peanut butter.
Wild Thai?
Wild Thai banana. So wild Thai apparently is a very leafy banana. It's described as the mountaintop of bananas. So if you're on a banana mountain, all those other bananas you walk over, and at the top is the wild Thai banana. Because I thought it was it could have been like not a banana at all, and
right.
Just, wild. Why is it wild Thai? Why are you calling it out?
So is it the best because it's on the top?
I mean, right? That's the descriptor. But a couple things about this program, like they usually, you pay up front, and then you get first dibs. I forget if it's included or not. I doubt it, or maybe. But anyway, these are 750 milliliter bottles. I think they're changing the format to 500 milliliters.
Okay.
A, because these are really big beers, 15%, really thick, low drinkability. And then, but B, you can open more memberships up if everyone's getting smaller.
That's true.
Variants.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then there was a brunch component.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So,
I think that makes sense. Bring it to smaller, one to sell more, and like we've talked about the entire year of last year, just like give us more options but smaller sizes, right?
Yeah. So another component of the brunch is that they have all these Unoya variants, but they pour one that it's called the What Could Be series. So they'll have 5 or 6 variants that we're just trying to try it out, right? Trials. Yeah. I didn't really get that. It was a mint. The one I saw was mint chocolate. I'm like, I don't really like mint chocolate and beer. I had the Frango one. I'm like, I'm kind of out on that.
Okay.
So I just drank Unoya 6 at the bar, which I think was maple syrup and chocolate, I believe it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are some big beers to go at 11 a.m.
11 in the morning. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Do you have a stack of pancakes to go with it?
Some sort of biscuit.
Okay.
Uninspired on the biscuit. Like it was supposed to be like an apple fritter biscuit. So like a fried chicken on a biscuit with cheese with the apple compote. The cheese wasn't melted, and the kitchen was really backed up because I think they were the kitchen was catering because Phase 3 Elmhurst has a kitchen and the one in Lake Zurich does not. But the Elmhurst one was catering to the other one. They did this at both locations at the same time.
So they were just making food and shipping it out?
I think they catered it, right? So it's probably showed up already.
Pre-made.
Yeah.
So they were just like exhausted by the time people are there.
And I think they may be short-staffed, right? Because I don't think they just hired new people for this. So I think, people were kind of like, where's our food kind of thing. So the biscuit came out a little uninspired. So that was a dud. Yeah. But, I like those beers. The beers were so big I didn't even bother opening it. I was like, I'll get to this another time.
Okay.
Because it's a huge format. I'm like, dude, it's like noon. I'm not gonna drink this big ass beer. So.
The day after New Year's and just
exactly.
You don't need to end your holiday break on just being passed out by 1 p.m.
Yeah, in fact, I think I did. I'm knocked out. But yeah, it's near Lunar. It's near Standard Meadery. It's near Elmhurst Brewing. It's near Moore. I didn't do any of that. I just went to Elmhurst and got out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think when we were talking about it, a few of them were closed that day.
Elmhurst was closed.
New Year's Day. So. but that is a stop. That is a little romp. You could do them all.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice houses in Elmhurst. I tried to. I think next time I go, I'm just gonna look up the prices.
Okay.
Very nice houses.
Thinking of moving out there?
I think I just want to go for a tour. What do I get for 500 at the old Elmhurst?
Like, all right, I'll just stick to coming out here for this beer.
You know, put me at the end of a cul-de-sac, maybe. Overlooking like
Retention
a
pond.
lake or a pond. I might be in.
Yeah. All right. Any other stops?
We went to Other Half.
Oh, nice.
Ramova Theater
Okay.
is the Ramova Half project.
It's not a Chicago brewery, but
Yeah, they're from Brooklyn, New York.
okay.
So they've been around for about 10 years.
Are they brewing here?
They have a massive brew system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pending inspection. So it hasn't passed inspection. So all the beers on draft, all 14 or so are coming from New York at this point. Yeah, pretty much all IPAs.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If you look up, there's not a lot written about Other Half, but this is like their 5th location, I think.
Well, it's a horrible name to look up stuff.
Other Half. Oh, because it'd be Other Half like stuff.
Other side. Isn't there like there's Half Day Brewing? There's probably Other Side Brewing. I don't know.
No. So, what is it? Oh, it's part of a rehabbed theater project.
Okay.
And this brewery is just a component of that.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually the Ramova Theater in Bridgeport, it's 35th and Halsted, is the sister project to the Music Box. So the same dude built both theaters the same year.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's basically the exact same theater as far as footprint and the same designer.
Funny. Okay.
A lot of people don't know, but there's a lot of that in the city. The old Comiskey Park and Wrigley, same dude.
Oh,
like 3 years apart. Right. So I think that was a thing in like the early 1920s.
Once you did one, they're like, we like it.
We like
Give
it.
us
Come
one
over here and do
here.
one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool. I have seen a lot of people talking about the prices at Other Half Brewing, and that they are, they're New York prices.
Predatory. And if you, I've seen photos of people chiming in from other cities, and they're like, no, the beers are like $8-9 here.
Oh.
Like DC or Philly or
Okay.
I
So
think
the prices we've seen are a 4-ounce pour is $4.
Yeah.
A 12-ounce pour is $10, and then a 16-ounce pour is $16.
Yeah.
So right there, if you're just looking at that, most of the time it's $1 an ounce, except for this 12-ounce, you get it for $10. So typically when you buy more of a product, it becomes cheaper.
Right. Except for this place.
Right. So the 16-ounce should really be $14. That's
That's still a lot, ain't it?
still kind of a lot.
Why
But
shouldn't it be? If I go to Hot Butcher, how much are the beers?
8 probably.
The beer should be $8 here.
Yeah.
Right. Like, what are we doing? You go to Half Acre and get a double IPA. How much is it?
Right.
So what the fuck is this? It's very weird.
Because also the idea of tipping on these, you want them to often be under $10, right? So people feel a little more inclined to give $1.
It's the only brewery where you might have to pregame. You might have to show up drunk and then have like one beer. I think part of it is, like we were talking about Revolution before the show. Like Revolution, though, if you go to a soccer game, they might charge $15 for their beer, right? You go to baseball games, these are stadium price, these are event prices.
Yeah.
And I think since it's attached to a venue, they're charging event prices, which makes sense to me. But if there's no event, I think the prices should not be event prices.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but I think they just opened. I think they got did an impromptu tour of this joint. I think we talked to one of the guys there, and I think they're still working stuff out.
Okay.
So like if you look in the ceilings, like some of the light fixtures are missing, or there might be some concrete that needs to be filled in over here, right? I think they're just going really fast, and they're like, yeah, we're open to feedback and we're listening, because we want this to work. And I think that's one of the things they're probably going to have to pivot on, because it's actually a talking point that's kind of overshadowing like how cool this fucking venue is.
Sure. Yeah, that's the only other thing. That's really the only thing I've heard about it from multiple people, just picking up the price thing that. They may not have gone. Just everyone's like, oh, someone made a video about that. I better make a video about that.
Yeah. So it's attached to a grill, the Ramova grill,
Right.
So the guy who used to work at the Four Seasons, Chef Hickey, who opened the Duck Inn in Bridgeport, he's behind the grill. So the grill had closed in like 2013, and then this venue closed in like 1985.
Oh.
So it's like a 1,400 person venue. They had to work with like the National Register of Historic Places so that it looks as much as it can like the original.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's 2 levels, and there's no seating. It's like a 2-level standing room venue that used to be a movie theater, and now it's going to be for like concerts and other shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like state-of-the-art sound system. They did a really cool job, but the space looks great.
Nice.
But yeah, I think in the bars on the first level, I would say maybe, I don't know, 50 or so people, and then there's another bar upstairs.
Okay.
That probably holds a little bit more.
Would you go there without like an event happening?
Not if they don't fix those prices.
Okay.
No, because this is a half mile from Sox Park. You can walk down 35th, and you're a half mile later, you're at the ballpark.
Oh.
So it'd be a nice kind of pregame. I think their conversation was, there's concerts after some Sox games. They're like, hey, that same guy, he'll come to a concert at this place, right? They're targeting.
And Mars isn't that far.
Mars is also half a mile away.
Oh, okay.
On 39th. They got 39th and like Iron, I think. Yeah. It's a cool spot. I think their thing is IPAs, stouts, and sours.
Sure.
But all they had was IPAs. They had 12 IPAs.
There's too many IPAs.
That's a lot of IPAs. 12 IPAs and a lager.
To start with, as you introduce everyone in the city to a new brewery,
Yeah.
there's 12 of them. Pick your best 6, right?
Yeah. The guy I talked to, he was from he grew up in the area, so he was from Forest Park, which is like a West Burb. Him and his wife lived in New York, and they wanted to work on a project. So they met Chef Hickey, and Chef Hickey's like, man, I've been going to this theater my whole life, and they closed. What if we brought it back to life? So he got like 50 investors involved, got the city and the state involved because it was really expensive. I'm like, what's harder, the capital or actually redoing the space? He's like, man, I really had to go get like different groups of people together to get enough cash to do this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So,
So you want to see something like this work because,
because there's
they
a lot
want
of,
to make the space nice.
what is it like? There's the Regal Theater that's still standing. That's like 71st Street. Oh, but then there's this what is the one across the street from Pilot Project on
Congress.
the Congress Theater. There's a lot of these old time music theaters.
But Congress Theater, from what you hear, is just a mess inside.
What about the one next to Green Mill? It's supposed to be bigger than Radio City Music Hall.
Oh, Aragon?
No, Aragon's open. This one's not open. The Uptown Theater.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of these old time theaters, and the only one I think that really got pulled off in recent memory might have been this one. They're in the vein of the Aragon or the Riviera, right? It's in that same vein with the super cool marquee. I think this one's Spanish revival style,
Cool.
So it's cool that they pulled it off, and it looks great in there.
Nice.
I think they need to fix that pricing, and then I think they'll be okay.
But then you got Mars right down the street selling or charging heavy prices for beers too.
Yeah.
They've come down a little bit, but they were $10 for a 12-ounce there, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and then and the thing about Sox Park, most people who go, if you drive, I mean, it's different from Wrigley. There's no parking at Wrigley.
Right.
There's a sea of parking lots at Sox Park, and there's so most people, you just tailgate and drink, there. So I've never actually really like gone to like
something before
a pre or a post. Yeah. So, but I mean, I'm a small audience, but.
Well, also you got to get your car out of there, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a limit of how long your car can be
And
in
not
there after the stadium.
And not everybody's driving. So for people who aren't driving, this is a cool option. And it's in a part of town where we talk about this all the time. If you go start from Roosevelt to like, I don't know, 95th, there's not a lot of breweries.
Right.
And Moody Tongue and Lagunitas, but those are actually really far from Bridgeport, So there's room, like you said. The only breweries the closest breweries to this place are Weiner and
maybe,
Mars, right? Oh, and Alulu.
Alulu. What the? It's not Motor City, but they're a little bit of a way still. Not.
Oh, Dunier.
Dunier.
We always forget about Dunier.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dunier's on 23rd. Oh, one takeaway. I was like, how'd you end up with Other Half? And he's like, well, we actually asked Other Half to be a part of it since we were in New York at the time. And Other Half's first response was, we'd love to do it, but you should go do it with a Chicago brewery.
Oh.
So then they asked 6 Chicago breweries. Now, he's from Forest Park. So Chicago could be suburbs too.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I'm like, I think Goose would jump at this. They love music. He's like, we wanted an independent brewery. So I'm like, Goose is out. So my guess of the 6, I'm like, they probably asked Two Brothers, right? They probably asked Metro.
Black Lung?
Not Metro. They probably asked Maplewood, Rev, and Half Acre.
Right.
They probably asked them, right? But they wanted independent breweries. So
Solemn.
And then maybe they asked Solemn.
Could have been a good fit.
So if we see folks from these breweries, I'm curious to know like why would they be out on a project like that? Because if you're looking to get into another space, right? Because these motherfuckers. Oh, and then Todd the Axeman is apparently the head brewer there.
Oh shit!
He left Pilot Project and he's going to this place.
Oh really?
Yeah. So these dudes got I think it's like it's a 15-barrel system and 20-barrel fermenters. They could do 6,000 kegs of beer in this joint. It's a ridiculous space. I'm like, why are there 10 fermenters of beer? It's bigger than Clybourne was.
But then, why did you need a established brewery at that point, right? Like, why?
What do you mean?
If you're gonna brew there, sell beer there, what you didn't need the name of Other Half because that does nothing in Chicago. It could have been Music Beer or Steve's Beer.
Oh, you're saying just launch a whole new brand.
Right.
Oh, well, they really like Other Half as a brewery.
Sure.
Oh, Other Half's their favorite brewery from where they were living at the time.
Yeah.
I think that's why. But the Other Half guys, it's what do they call it? I listen to a lot of podcasts. It's the beer of Wall Street. It's the finance bros are the reason why Other Half got so popular.
Okay.
Right. So I think Other Half has a lot of investors. I think the Other Half piece has a lot to do with why they got all this investment money. That's what I think.
Okay.
That's what I think.
That would make way more sense.
And it could be, I think, it could be a nice, ingratiating thing to say, hey, we checked with a few local breweries and nothing worked out. We
sent emails and no one responded. Like
it could be. I mean, so I'm not saying that guy's a liar, but I'm saying that could just be a nice thing to say, right?
Yeah.
But
I tweeted at them and they just didn't get back to me.
Yeah, it would have made more sense. But then everybody's focused on their own thing. Half Acre's doing this summertime fucking thing, right?
Right, Dayglow.
No.
Suncatcher.
Suncatcher.
Right.
Rev's got 2 locations, and Rev's trying to revamp the original place to upgrade the food experience and shit.
Yeah.
And they just bought this building.
I didn't know they were upgrading that food at Milwaukee location, but they fucked it up. They literally just let it basically become. It almost felt like a place that was like, you know what? We need to figure out how to do this cheaper. Let's cut some things and not do this other thing. Let's make these portions smaller. They fucked up their own food there.
I think you're looking at a time. Well, we talked about it last year. You're looking at a moment in craft beer where things are leveling out. Investing into a new brewery is a very daunting idea. And then how the fuck and this guy was smart because he answered some questions and I felt good leaving. But then I woke up today and I'm like, I don't know if I know how the fuck all this works. What are the economics here? Because you're not signing with Ticketmaster or Live Nation and getting big acts there. Right. Their first show was a local, drag show, LGBTQ, super small community stuff.
Okay.
So
you're getting the choir.
You know what I'm saying?
You're getting gospel, the kids, the school district 101 choir.
You got $16 beers and you got the high school choir performing. How are you the people? What are the economics here? When are people getting their money back from this thing? Right?
Never. You don't.
See, so I'm so the economics of it is probably on top of that, you got to invest in all this steel for all these tanks, and that's probably a daunting task for somebody who's already looking at their own space like, yo, I got enough fucking problems. I'm barely, dude, we talked last week about, I don't know if it was off record, but Cruz Blanca in West Loop, they're like, we're not selling beer in the winter. We're going to sell beer at every fucking.
Oh, no, we didn't talk about that.
Miller Coors bought a place called Revolver down in like Houston or Austin.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that's right.
The head brewer and one of the owners at Cruz Blanca are from Austin, and they're selling beer in Austin. And they HEB's the grocery store chain. They've got 400 of them. They're signed up. They're going to sell Mexico Calling, the lager, and Palm Shade IPA.
Okay.
They're like, dude, it's really hard to sell fucking beer in the winter in West Loop.
Sure.
So I don't see a whole lot of people jumping at this thing. Like,
it's not going to be like, we just don't care about what happens in the winter to Cruz Blanca.
Right. I think, it's winter, it's summer in Texas, 8 months a year.
No one's hanging out outside at our place, and that's what people want tacos outside.
Exactly. So if they see their model as problematic, right? Imagine if you are the owner of Maplewood and somebody's like, hey, come invest in, fucking 20-barrel system in Bridgeport. And you're like, well, damn, when am I getting my money back? That's probably how the talk went.
I guess, like, why would, we got our audience here. We don't have an audience there. We don't need to get an audience there. Because if they want our beer, they can get our beer, right?
Yeah.
That could be some of the problem with being a Chicago brewery and opening up another spot. Like Old Irving opened up a new spot because they needed to package more stuff.
They were contract brewing.
Right.
Yeah.
No one like Half Acre's like everyone in Chicago can get our beer, right? They even closed a spot because they were sort of like, we don't need another spot. Like you can get our beer. Yeah.
So I think it's a strange time. It's a strange time for brewery openings. So
yeah,
I could see that part being legit. Like they're saying, hey, we wanted it to be a local project and it didn't work out that way. So we got some guys that already have like fucking 5-6 locations already in other cities, and they probably have deeper. When you walk in this joint, the first thing you notice is, all right, you got 10 fermenters and a big ass brew house, like, and a fucking $1 million renovation, $5 million renovation. I don't think money's that much of an issue over here. It don't seem like it.
Right. Okay.
So.
That does seem like a project. Maybe something like Dry Hop could have got behind another Dry Hop location.
Yeah.
Seems like that would have been a better move than Crushed by Giants location.
Yeah. And then the Other Half Beer is good. I think that was another part. It's like, well, the beer is good.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But side note, totally unrelated. Ballast Point, West Loop.
Right.
Kind of similar situation. We're moving the theater part. A brand that was in other cities came to Chicago. Like 60 beers on draft. Mm-hmm. No guest drafts. 3 years after they opened, they closed. This is a very volatile thing. There's no blueprint for the shit that they're pulling off.
Right, and that's what Guinness could have that same problem that Ballast Point had, right?
Yeah. So this is interesting. If nothing else, I'm very interested to see how this works out.
I guess, Ballast Point didn't have the money in the end of it to keep going.
Oh yeah.
Where somebody like Guinness has got the money to keep going, even if it's not fully working out. And it sounds like this Other Half, they got the money to keep going.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Yeah. But this is a cool spot. If they fix the pricing, I would go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you pick if you're going out there? What are you picking? Are you picking Other Half? Are you picking Mars? You gonna go to Junior?
I haven't been to Mars in a while.
Weiner? Would you keep going?
I think the route would be you start at Weiner, and then work your way back to Mars, Other Half. Turner House is out there. You can go east, and then come to Junior, and you can go to Lagunitas too if you're out that way.
Okay. And
you can go to Lulu too. That's a nice route actually. But I would start my route at the most southern point, which would be Weiner.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd probably go Weiner, then make my way back north.
Mars.
Weiner, Mars, Other Half. Junior. And then Lulu and Lagunitas. That's your route.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were crazy.
Yeah, if you're, yeah.
If you have a DD. or you're biking.
That's a young man's route. That's a young man's route. Somebody my age is probably doing 3. If I'm doing just 3 though, I'm doing
Weiner.
I'm doing Weiner, and then I'm doing actually I might do Other Half, and I might do Other Half and Junior.
Okay.
That would be my route. Yeah, you don't really need to go to Lagunitas. Mars is cool. I would go to Junior over Mars.
And then a Lulu.
Lulu's fine. Yeah, I'd probably go to Junior though. As someone who's been to them all, that would be my route.
Right.
Weiner, Other Half, Junior.
Okay.
Yeah. Extended route, Weiner, Other Half, Junior, a Lulu, Mars. That's your extended route. Okay. If you're a stud, add Lagunitas.
Yeah. Okay. If you're punk rock, you gotta do them all.
Man, if you're here to rock, you're doing all.
Damn.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other stops?
That was it, man. It was a slow week, man.
Nice. Anything else happening in the city, kicking things off?
Let's consult the old photos and see what's going on here. Nah, man, it was a pretty slow start to the year, man. That's really all I did.
Okay. Do you, as a prediction of right now at the beginning of 2024, do you think there will be more Illinois breweries or less Illinois breweries by the end of this year now?
Man, I think we're starting to, we might see the leveling off of breweries. I think you brought up a good point about it's really a matter of burn rate. Beta Brawl didn't have a burn rate, right? They were out. Argus was around for 12 years, and people really only started loving their beer in like the last 2 years, but they had a 12-year burn rate.
Right.
It just depends on, we talked about these breweries now that just opened up. It really depends on like how much money can you put into this thing before you just say, hey, we're out of reserves. We got to shut it down.
Right.
Man, I don't know. The only one that's scheduled to open is the Industry Hills down in the Loop.
That we know of right now.
That's the only one.
And Suncatcher.
Oh, and Suncatcher, which is the Half Acre project that's going to be seasonal. I'm kind of excited about that, actually.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like it's harder and harder to sell beer from just about anybody you talk to. Like things are tight.
So you're going less.
I'm going less. Yeah.
I think I might go the same.
Yeah.
I think we will have just as many closed that open in the state this year. Like I think it might be you're probably right, but I'm gonna take the positive same.
I mean,
I'm not that positive that it'll be more.
Right. Not like rooting for people to close. You want to see everybody win. But we name scenarios where we don't even, it's harder to get to places. People just rather chill at home. People just rather, I don't know if are people drinking at breweries or are they going to pick up beer?
Well, the story recently this week was beer volume was at a decade or a century low. It's back to like 1999.
Yeah.
But it's unclear if that's also people have other options to drink. You have all these seltzers. You're competing with like Mountain Dew and Sunny D and these weird everybody has
Sunny D.
Everyone has something else, so there's other options to drink. Beer. I've seen people talk about wine, that no one really wants to open a bottle of wine anymore because that's a huge commitment. We've talked about that. You talked about that at the beginning with phase 3 thing.
Yeah.
And then people are not going to the bars to drink, right? You're going to pick up your beer at the grocery store or the brewery. So the bar is basically dying.
Unless you're entertaining. Yeah. Last time I went to Hot Butcher, I just grabbed a 4-pack and went home.
Well, but that's also a brewery, but a place like Hop Leaf
or even like the Green Lady.
Yeah, Green Lady, Jake's Tap or whatever, old man kind of bar. No one's drinking there. Like that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, the people who would go are not going. Oh, talking about bars and stores, West Lakeview Liquors
Okay.
posted that they're having a closeout sale.
Right.
They're done, so they're selling their stuff at a fraction of the price. You can buy their shit for pennies on the dollar. They're shutting things down.
Yeah, I think some of those like smaller beer stores are gonna have a problem because 2 weeks later, no one wants that beer. Like the Snaggle Jus next month. Who's buying that from Capone's?
The
Right, so
season finale of craft beer, man.
So it sits on the shelf. So I think bars and like independent liquor stores are going to probably close rapidly this year.
Or we'll scale back.
Okay.
I'm rooting for them to not close and maybe just scale back. No. Yeah, because there's a lot of it's a crowded market. There's a lot of choice in Chicago. All the national and regional players are here. All the local boys are here. You go to the store, there's a ton of options. So maybe bars and package stores don't have as many options this year. That you can almost guarantee that's probably gonna happen.
Right.
They're not, as a bar owner. I'm like, man, I can't keep buying all this shit.
Right.
You know.
But if you look at something like we just went to Publican, I drank a cocktail, and they had one local beer and then one like regional beer. And I think about that when I'm looking at these menus, like, do I want to drink the brewery that's here, or do I want to try that brewery from Texas? And I often pick the brewery here over trying a new brewery. And then you went, you're gonna go back to classics.
I'm like, I haven't had these beers since the last time I was here, fucking 8 years ago.
But if you saw a Wyoming brewery, you're not likely to try that.
I'm either going the classics or
local.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the bars have a problem, where it's like, well, I can just go to Dovetail. Why am I going to the tap house?
I think I get what you're
Dovetail.
saying. Because where was I at? Bell's Christmas Sale was an option. I'm like, give me that. That's my classic, right? That for me, that's right next to like Orvala and whatever the fuck else. Give me the Bell's Christmas Sale. But yeah, I wouldn't go to a bar and just get the local thing. I'm more likely to go get the local thing whenever I'm at that brewery.
Right.
Yeah. So I think you're right.
It's gonna be strange, but yeah. Okay, so you're going under. I'm going same. I don't know what that is. If it's 5 and 5 or 10 and 10, but
We're about to find out.
yeah. All right, that's gonna do it for our punk rock first episode, best beer of the year.
It's a good ass beer, man.
Kicking off 2024. Hopefully you're enjoying all these episodes. If you have any beers we should be drinking or breweries we should be trying, let us know.
Yeah.
We went to a lot last year, I think.
I think we got after it. I look at the photos and I'm like, yeah, the boys were all over the place, man.
So
It was fun.
I guess we'll try to do the same, but it's exhausting out there. But that'll do it. Take care.
Cheers.